Alright guys, we're going to talk about Karate Kid Legends, and before I get into the movie, I can't talk about Karate Kid without showing you guys which parts of the collection I have already. So, there are two movies in the franchise that I didn't get around to before seeing this one, and it was the next Karate Kid, and it was the Karate Kid with Jackie Chan, which is one I wanted to see before this movie. I was just watching other movies, watching TV shows. I just didn't get around to it. But the movie was pretty simple. It was easy to digest. It was super easy to follow. So if you didn't see these two movies or even some of the others, I think if you've at least seen the one original, then you'll be fine. This movie was pretty. It was pretty easy to understand for newcomers to the franchise. So I thought it was pretty good. But so for the next Karate Kid, it's the only movie in the franchise I don't own. I just never, the price on Amazon just a little too high, and I could never find a physical copy when I've shopped around for movies. So it's just one I just haven't got my hands on yet. But I do have the one with Jackie Chan. I have it on Blu-ray. Like I said, I just never got around to it. They are sort of making a 4K format of this one and the next Karate Kid at some point, I assume this fall. There is a massive box set on Amazon that comes with all six Karate Kid movies in 4K, and it comes with some other physical stuff in the set as well. It is about $200, so I'm not really sure if I want to get that one, but having the collection of one of my favorite franchises will be pretty neat to have, so we'll see. So I have this one, and then I have the Karate Kid set, and this one has gone back and forth in price so much. When I bought it, it was I think like $30, and then it was like $100, $200, and now it's I think affordable again. But this is the set I have. This is the Karate Kid collection, just what it says. It has the first three. So it's sort of that hard cardboard sort of set, and it's got really cool. This is the front of it. There's no other sleeve or anything else to it. It's really neat. I like this set a lot. And then here's the side of it. It just sort of has the logo and telling you which movies it comes with. And then the back is super cool. This just sort of features all the characters from the first three. So this is pretty cool. It's a very neat box set, and this set actually comes with each movie in 4K. So I think they all have. Yeah, so I'll show you guys. So here's the first one. Like I said, each movie's in 4K. You got that first one here, and then the back is kind of cool. I think each of the backs has a different design on it, which is pretty neat. So here's the first one, and then this is the Karate Kid Part 2. So there's the front, and then it's sort of got a different style on the back for comparison. And then, okay, this is not the first. This is the third. I'm losing my mind with the order. Okay, so the second and the third, because I can't read. Okay, anyway, so yeah, that's the back. And then this is the first one. I can't believe I can't read. Anyway, okay, so here's the first one, and here is the back. So this is sort of, let's see if it's similar. It's just the first and the second, they're I guess the kick is in different directions, so it is slightly different. So anyway, this is the set. It doesn't really come with any special stuff with it. It's just a set for the movies, but the box art alone is really cool to have. So let's talk about Karate Kid Legends. So I already said this was pretty easy for newcomers. I think it was meant to be for newcomers to the franchise, simply because of, I would say, Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai brought in a lot of new fans. There are a lot of newer generations of Karate Kid fans who started with Cobra Kai and maybe watch the other movies later or just get caught up. There are no Cobra Kai original characters in this movie. This movie is sort of its own thing, which I think was pretty good. So we start off where Lee and his mother move to New York because she gets a new job, and he's got to leave Mr. Han, Jackie Chan's character, behind, where he and his brother sort of played in a not played, but they were part of this tournament, and his brother ended up getting killed. They give you bits and pieces of that information throughout the movie, but it's sort of, that's the gist you get from the beginning, is his brother died. And it turns out he was jumped by other competitors who lost to his brother, and they ended up pulling a knife on him, and he didn't survive. So Now Lee is in New York, brand new city, brand new everything. His mother said no fighting. She's super protective of her son because of what happened to her other son because of Kung Fu. So between karate and Kung Fu, she just says no fighting. That's just her rule. And so Lee, of course, is going to try to not really follow that. He does try a bit, but it's like a calling he can't ignore. So as he meets this girl, Mia, her ex, happens to be the big karate champion for the city. And so, he plays the role of the bully for this movie. He's picking on Lee. He's just kind of being a jerk. And that's sort of what Johnny Lawrence's role was in the first Karate Kid. But through Cobra Kai, he sort of gets his full, complete redemption arc. This guy doesn't get a redemption arc in this movie. He's just the bully. And I think it serves a purpose just having a character like that, because it kind of makes everything simple, where I think they're trying to do more and more movies is the impression I'm getting. I don't know how far they're going to take Lee's character into the franchise, but this seems to be the start of something that they don't plan on slowing down. And so as he reluctantly agrees, we have like sort of the first half of the movie of him learning about his character and what happened with his brother and his relationship with now his kind of girlfriend and her father, because when he goes to try to get some pizza, Mia's father's making fun of him, but then after they get to know each other, they find out that he's struggling to keep the pizza shop open. He used to fight, he doesn't anymore. He wants to learn Kung Fu, so Lee ends up teaching him. He teaches him to go into this fight. I think he was a boxer, so it's not Kung Fu, it's not karate, but Lee's trying to teach him Kung Fu to help him be a better fighter. And when he goes into this fight, he ends up in the hospital barely surviving. So Lee freaks out because of what happened with his brother, and he just wants to give up on it entirely, and winning this tournament that Mia's ex is in is the only way to get money to save Mia and her father's shop. So Mr. Han flies from, he comes to New York, and he basically shows up and tells Lee, all right, you're doing this, let's go, start training, you're fighting. And Lee says no, but he just kind of accepts it because Mr. Han doesn't take no for an answer. And so I didn't see his movie, The Karate Kid. I don't know if his character was treated super serious or if he was supposed to be a comedy character. But in this movie, he sort of plays almost a comedic role. Not in a jokes kind of way, but just the natural way he interacts with characters kind of way. Which is similar to how Chozen was in the Cobra Kai series, even though he was in the second movie. He was super serious in the movie, and then Cobra Kai, was one of the best added characters in the second half of the series. And so for Karate Kid, Mr. Han shows up and says, I will teach you Kung Fu, you need to train, but you need karate. So Mr. Han goes and recruits Daniel LaRusso. Now, he does come in like the last third of the movie, which is probably a little bit less than that. He does have extremely limited screen time. However, he did have 6 seasons of Cobra Kai that sort of propelled his character from what we saw at the end of Karate Kid 3 to where he is now. So he's got plenty of screen time. He's had a great story arc. So I think Daniel LaRusso dominating the screen time in this movie just wouldn't have served the new characters much justice. So I think they played it just right. It was very nice having him included. He played a pivotal role, but it didn't feel overbearing. So I thought it was done really, really well. And Daniel LaRusso, what I thought was really interesting is when this movie picks up, obviously, with Lee and what's going on, but before they pick up in the present, they actually show a clip from The Karate Kid 2 when Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Miyagi are in Okinawa. So people who only saw the original, even they wouldn't have known about the scene. They pick a scene from the second one. And basically the 2-branch 1-tree comes from Mr. Han's style of fighting and Mr. Miyagi's style of fighting. So I don't know if in Jackie Chan's The Karate Kid he mentions Mr. Miyagi at all. If not, this was a really cool way to connect it all. If so, it was cool to see that reintroduced into this one. So regardless, having him part of this one now makes everything feel connected. Cobra Kai already made everything else feel connected to it all. And so this franchise has remained, I think, really consistent. I know that the next Karate Kid and Jackie Chan's The Karate Kid is typically ranked amongst the lowest of the Karate Kid movies, but I still want to check them out just to see what they're really all about. Because I thought he played a really great role in this one, and I liked his character. So yeah, I wanted to see him in more, and I do hope he's in maybe another project, whatever that's going to be. So in this movie, it sort of has the Karate Kid 1 vibes to it, where he's now training. He has two senseis. He's going into this tournament to fight Connor, Mia's ex, and he ends up winning the fight. So we sort of have it sort of parallels with the first one, where we get just a story of a guy trying to find his place in the world, meets a girl, there's complications. The complication when that guy ends up happening to be karate, and he ends up fighting and beating him. So in the original, Daniel LaRusso had just a short amount of time to learn how to fight and beating Johnny Lawrence. In this one, Lee already has fighting style knowledge. It's just not specifically karate until this movie. So that's why I say it's simple, because it follows the original's plot sort of, I would say, very similarly. And I know some people may just see that as a copy, but I think they were able to introduce enough new characters and give us enough time to get to know them. Because like I said, he doesn't really enter the tournament until what feels like a little over halfway through the movie. So we spend a lot of time just getting to know these characters. And they did introduce a lot of new ones. So I think that was a good thing. It made this enjoyable. It felt familiar. Seeing familiar faces was pretty cool. So overall, I really did like this. Is it my favorite? I don't know. I'm very biased to the original ones, especially because of Cobra Kai sort of expanding on all of that. So it's really hard to rank them, but this was a great addition into the franchise. This is definitely one I'm going to buy when it comes to physical. And yeah, I can't wait to watch it again. So thank you guys for watching my review on this movie. Keep it digging. I'll see you guys next time.